Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm really glad you're here. Today's date is Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. And I want to invite you to go down a little bit of a rabbit trail with me. And it's the mainstream media's fault. Because when you try to search for some information, they make it difficult to find. But in the process of doing that, sometimes you find a new rabbit trail. Now, I didn't find a new rabbit trail today, but I definitely found an interesting one. I was looking for some quotes and information available in the past on alt media, maintaining that the party substance has, in some cases, when it's been discovered and confiscated, it has been supplemented and then allowed to go into circulation. The supplementation involves tracking elements so that people are kind of busted when they're questioned or confronted about that, and then their own body systems give them away. Interesting topic, and I wanted to read about it and see if it's true. We may still do that, but let me show you a couple things I found on the rabbit trail trying to find that information. And so thank you, MSM. Thank you. Even Brave was having trouble giving me search information. So they did us a favor. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? I went first, one of the places I went to was roserambles.org. I've mentioned them before. Be careful using them. They gather information from lots of sources. It's up to you to use your discernment about what to come away with. Okay? Just as with anything. That's why I don't tell you not to read from a certain source or listen to a certain voice. Listen to everybody. But keep your discernment on high, or your BS meter, whichever applies. Okay? I went here, and then I did a search for that party substance term in its complete format. And it got me to a series of articles, and this is one from December 14th. Now, what's interesting with this one, as I was reading about it, is something called the party substance agenda. It parallels the UN agenda for 2030 quite chillingly. Okay? And they maintain in here, you'll want to read about what happens with blood that comes from cadavers and even donated blood, and you'll want to read about that. And the next step of the plan also chillingly parallels what we've heard from the World Economic Forum. Okay, so I will have a link to that. This is going to be buried down under a mile of different things, so you'll want to do a search here for that term to get to it. And then that led me to, as I continued to search, to find an excellent article about a far too unsung hero we have in the truther movement. 28 years ago, this man died, Philip Schneider. He was trying to tell people about things he had encountered when he worked for the government. And his claims back then seemed really outlandish and far-fetched. He did get the ear of some people, but not nearly the ear that he would have today with social media, with alt media, with having platforms to state his case and not just be trying to talk to small groups in person. He was working on a book, and you know the phrase, Epstein didn't kill himself? Well, Schneider didn't either. He was discovered dead in his apartment with all of his information gone. In the book he was working on, all of his documentation about aliens. And it was a pretty grisly scene. Now, one of the things I thought fascinating, now listen, this is 28 years ago. These are quotes from are over a quarter of a century old. He was concerned 28 years ago about the number of little ones who are on the FBI missing children, little ones list. Okay. And he warned that because we have on our realm of existence, that we have beings that aren't from our realm. Okay. He speculated that they carry germs and diseases that would be used to create new bioweapons. He also mentioned, when he was talking about the missing children, that the number of missing children are going to, I'll just read directly here. If we do nothing, it will continue to go on, and you'll keep seeing more and more people disappear. Okay. Now, that's just that one sentence. I read today that we're up to 10 million little ones go missing worldwide every year. So was he right? Would it exponentially increase? He also had some interesting information that's still valid today and probably was used by the White Hats as they started some of their counter moves. Here is a map, 28 years old, of the hotspots for little ones disappearing. When you overlay that with the known cave and tunnel systems, there are some chilling similarities. Chilling. Okay, well, you know me, you know my rabbit trails. We can look at hard topics. We need to, okay? As the blinders come off the human race, as our critical thinking skills are unleashed and exercised, we have to look at hard topics. But when we do, it's always nice to look at them with, if there's a silver lining, a bright light involved, let's look at that too. Okay, so that brings me back to my original search. I was trying to find information, and I know it's out there. They just don't make it easy to find. But look what I found that was so much more interesting. But let's ask the cards. Let's go to that question I originally was searching to answer and ask the universe respectfully. Is the alt media rumor true that when this mainstream maintains it's an imaginary conspiracy theory substance, okay, when that party substance is discovered, confiscated, did the White Hats indeed find a way to add some tracking elements to it so that, so sad, too bad, you're busted? Let's find out. And if there's other information the universe wants us to know. Okay, universe, is there any validity to that rumor that party substances have gone into circulation with tracking elements involved? That would obviously be a White Hat. And is there other information the universe wants us to know about this imaginary war on the production of this imaginary substance? Our first card is the Eight of Cups. Ace of Swords. We already have a really hard yes here, guys. Let's keep going and see what's going on. Six of Wands. Hermit. The Empress. Don't tick off the Empress. The Chariot. The Magician. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas out of 7 cards. That's statistically almost impossible. So this tells me that the universe is indeed saying this question is important and timely. Well, I have to admit the Seven of Cups is not one of my favorite cards. Quite often for me, it indicates, you know, some aspects of sleight of hand and trickery. But cups often indicate party substance, okay? Especially the Three of Cups. And the Seven of Cups, one of the main and traditional meanings for this card is opportunities. So yeah, and then we have the Ace of Swords telling us, yes, the White Hats saw an opportunity here and took it, okay, in the pursuit of justice. And the Ace of Swords is just a beautiful, all the aces tend to be yes cards. The Ace of Swords is a success and victory card on top of that. So way to go, White Hats, okay? All right, we have the Six of Wands showing up in the recent past. Now, this is a victory card. Okay, so yeah, it's been a very successful operation on the part of the White Hats, the Alliance. I say Alliance because here in the middle, we have our Hermit, which is wise energy at the very least. But often for me, it indicates our loving creator. And in addition, off-world assistance, which can simply be our living creator, depends on what your lens is and who he has enlisted in the endeavors. But he was shining a light on this productions and stuff. And just as we are saying enough is enough, as we go from believing narratives that, oh, this isn't true, to yes, it is, and it needs to stop. He was on board with that, definitely. Okay. We truly live in what is termed a free will universe. And as we make it known that we do not consent, that it is not our free will to be commodities, to be a truffle, if you will, that's heard, that's honored, and that's supported. Now let's look ahead here. We've got the Empress showing up for the near future as far as what's happening with this endeavor, this fight, these battles for this imaginary substance, according to the MSM, and this imaginary market, according to the MSM. You heard me say as I laid this card down, it's not nice to tick off the Empress. She is the ultimate female, divine female energy, nurturing. It's even possible here behind her gown that she is with child. And she loves the little ones of humanity. Okay. So yeah, we've got a good team helping us, guys, in this cleanup effort, including, here's one of my Emperor cards, because the Chariot is often thought of as the younger energy of the Emperor. Now, I don't have a specific person that is integral to this. I've got one I suspect, but I'm going to keep that to myself till I have more confirmation. But anyway, White Hats are on it. This was a White Hat endeavor. It's been very successful, very successful. And it is an endeavor that beings beyond our scope and lifestyle have supported and helped us with. Okay. Now, we are learning to make things manifest. We are learning the power of I do not consent. Enough is enough. Okay. As we do, more and more, this is going to be made manifest. The Magician, for me, is often a card of, yes, manifestation, which we're learning how to do. But it's also one of infinite balance because he's equally pointing to energy above as below and all the elements. And he's got the infinity symbol over his head, as several of the major arcana do. Okay. So we're getting a nod that part of this success is the fact that we are so resolute in putting an end to it. Let's look at a few other cards. We have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands indicates a hard job. This cleanup, this battle has been a very difficult one. Tens are usually towards the home stretch of it. So as our reality changes a little bit, we move more fully into 5D. I don't see how this issue is going to even be an issue. They're just not going to find themselves very comfortable in 5D. Suppliers or consumers, either one. We've got the Seven of Pentacles showing up for a little more information. Always a card that shows that we're getting there. We're getting there. There's still a little more that needs to ripen and get harvested. And I'm speaking of the justice harvest. Okay, not party substance. Okay, but it's definitely a worthwhile effort, and it's being overseen very closely. Ten of Pentacles, which is a multi-generational card of usually related to practical matters, earth, finances, things like that, but definitely one of good things that's going to benefit all generations. So this battle is worth it, guys. Humanity's worth it. Even though we might think a few of these players and their shenanigans aren't worth our time, overall, humanity is worth getting back on the path our Creator intended for us and discovering and growing towards our beautiful potential. Definitely a worthwhile effort. Okay. Now that effort is going to not roll out completely. This is a card of, again, some generosity. I'm seeing it as a universal generosity, but it's measured. It's measured so that there's appreciation and it's used well. But it will happen and it will get used well because nothing can stop what is coming. And you can take that to the bank. Okay, what can we do? There are still little ones that aren't being treated well, that are commodities. There's not as many as there were, but there are some. So let's keep them in our thoughts, prayers, and our intentions that they find freedom, healing, solace, nurturing, love, good times, fun, and a chance at what we consider to be a normal life with typical opportunities available to them in full. They deserve it, and we humans deserve it, to have our little ones be safe and nurtured and treasured and valued, and to get rid of those on this plane of existence who don't support that fully and with benevolence. Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. And if you follow me down that full rabbit trail, I hope you found it interesting, and that the links I'll have for those two articles you find also interesting, because the more we learn, the more we can truly form a good mental image of what we consent to and what we no longer consent to. It's powerful, and we're heard as we say those things. Till next time, good night.